startup culture is, it's okay. People like their apps and so on, but it's based very heavily on state subsidy. It's not. It's kind of a narrow form of entrepreneurship. So take, for example, the Silicon Valley culture. What are they using? Well, they're using computers, the internet, microelectronics, so on and so forth, almost all developed in the state sector for decades before it's handed over to private power for commercialization and application. So yeah, there's initiative there, and people are having fun and doing maybe interesting things, but relying very heavily on the background state subsidy, which takes many forms. Actually, everyone at MIT ought to know it. It's paid our salaries for years. It's for decades, computers and the internet and the whole basis of the IT culture were being developed right here in similar places in RLE and so on. Finally, after decades, it was handed over to Bill Gates and Steve Jobs to market and commercialize and make profit and make little things that you carry around with you. So it's a kind of it has entrepreneurial aspects, but it's parasitic on much more fundamental development. The really hard work, the hard research and development, the creative work is quite substantially in the state sector. Incidentally, it's not just subsidy. There are many other devices of taxpayer support for private enterprise. One of the main ones is procurement. So, for example, in the early 60s, IBM through the 50s had learned, mostly in government laboratories and places like this, had learned to switch from punch cards to digital computers. And they built the world's biggest computer in the early 60s, stretch computer, fastest computer. But it was much too expensive for business. So the government bought it. That's the purchaser of last resort. And I think it went to Los Alamos. That goes on all the time. Procurement's a major form of public subsidy to private enterprise. And there are many other ways. That's one of the reasons why private capital does not want markets. They want markets for other people, but not for themselves. For themselves, they want a nanny state, powerful nanny state that will support them. What the significance of the entrepreneurial culture is, you can judge. I'm not overwhelmed by the fact that there's thousands of new apps coming every day. I think there are more important things.